All right, what is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Through My Eyes podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Nick, and ladies and gentlemen, today, as you guys all know, the NBA season has officially started back up again, so I'm going to be going into depth, not really depth, but I'm going to be doing little small pockets of depth on each of these matchups, starting with Tuesday night, which started the season up again, Boston versus Philly, and this is what that matchup consisted of. Harden dropped 22 in the first half, and Philly was pretty much running iso ball with Harden the whole time. No real offense was being played by Philly, and if Philly loses this year, Doc Rivers should be out the door, no questions asked. I don't like calling for other men's jobs, but he has two superstars on his team. Maybe James Harden is not a superstar anymore, but he's at least an all-star type player, and you have Tyrese Maxey, you have De'Anthony Melton, Montrezl Harrell now, Tobias Harris. They have a very stacked squad and should not be 0-2 right now, despite playing two of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. And for the Celtics side of things, they have the best duo in basketball. They didn't lose a step at all from last year's finals. They have like I said, they have the best duo in basketball in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Marcus Smart is still an elite defensive player. Their bench got even better with Malcolm Brogdon, Blake Griffin, and guys like Grant Williams stepping up into his role, playing outstanding basketball. The Celtics are set up to potentially get back to the NBA Finals this season. Next matchup, Warriors versus Lakers. The writing was on the wall at the beginning of this game. The Warriors were getting their rings from last year's finals. Lakers, the only champions they have are LeBron and AD. And you could see it on their faces. They look lost. They look not happy. And Lakers shot, I believe, like just a terrible percentage from three. I know they shot a terrible percentage from three, but I can't remember exactly what their percentage was. But all I know, it was terrible. And as a total from their two games, they are 19 and 84 from three-point range. So that's just some of the worst three-point shooting I've ever seen with my two eyes. And it's not, you can't put the blame on Russell Westbrook. You can't put the blame on AD. Can't put the blame on Braun. It's the role guys. They need to hit these open shots that are being given to them by elite playmakers in LeBron and AD. Now moving on to day two, this is where we got a lot of matchups, and I'm going to be a little quicker on these. First game of Wednesday, day two, Orlando Magic versus Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons are here. They may not make the playoffs, but I predict them making the play-in tournament. Yeah, getting to that 9th or 10th spot. Because with the addition of Bojan Bogdanovic, if they don't move on from him, that's a solid veteran who's going to give you 17 to 19 points any given night. He can possibly throw you a 40-point game in there somewhere in the season. Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren are NBA-ready guys. Those dudes looked outstanding in their rookie debuts versus the Magic. Also, Cade Cunningham is that leader at the point guard spot. Saddiq Bey is a beast on offense and defense. So I just really like what Detroit has for their future. Now moving on to the next game, New Orleans versus Brooklyn. New Orleans completely wiped the floor with Brooklyn. I can't even say their team right. That's how trash they are. New Orleans completely wiped the floor with Brooklyn, and I don't want to hear anything about them. Brooklyn Nets aren't making the finals. They're not doing anything substantial in the NBA playoffs. They aren't that. They just, none of them are him. None of them. That team as a whole is not him. They're not them. They're not them. They're just not those guys. I don't know why anybody predicts the Brooklyn Nets to do anything in the NBA playoffs or this season. They have a terrible defensive squad. Ben Simmons got fouled out also in this Pelicans game. And to get on the bright side, let's talk about the Pelicans. Pelicans are legit. Brandon Ingram and Zion combined for 60 points, and they're just surrounding role players are so solid, and you have CJ McCollum as the savvy veteran leader. Next matchup, the Raptors spoiled Donovan Mitchell's arrival to Cleveland. Scotty Barnes is that guy, but the Cavaliers are still a legit team. The Wembanyama sweepstakes continues, and the Spurs and Hornets face off. Hornets lost. Hornets took the dub. Surprisingly, without LaMelo Ball, or Miles Bridges because we know what happened to him this offseason. Trailblazers and Kings faced off. Trailblazers easily took the dub. Not surprised off of that one. They're the better team. I don't know why the Kings made the deal for Sabonis. That's just going to keep them in the middle of the pack for a long time. Next up, Wizards and Pacers. Wizards took the dub over the Pacers, but Benedict Mathurin is that guy for the Indiana Pacers. Also, Tyrese Haliburton, we all know, or at least I know what I feel about Tyrese Haliburton on the basketball court. And next up, Knicks versus Grizzlies. Grizzlies took the dub over the Knicks. The game did go to overtime. Jalen Brunson had himself a hell of a game, but John Moran is that superstar, and it completely showed out versus the Knicks. Jazz versus Nuggets. Surprisingly, the Jazz took the dub. Colin Sexton had a great game. Also Jordan Clarkson did as well. Hawks versus Rockets. Not surprisingly, Hawks took the dub. Heat versus Bulls. Debo, DeMar DeRozan dropped 37 points and led the Heat to a dub. 116 over 108 against the Heat. And Thunder versus Timberwolves. Timberwolves easily took the dub. Their new look team is looking very nice. And if Anthony Edwards keeps playing like he's playing, the league is in trouble. And Dallas lost to Phoenix. So Phoenix officially got their revenge on Dallas for last year's playoffs. And now to get into yesterday's games, the Bucks versus 76ers. The game was really close. It came down to the wire, but the Bucks ended up on top, finishing the game 90-88. Next matchup, Clippers versus Lakers. This game also came down to the wire. Lakers also had a lead at some point, but the Clippers ended up taking the dub. So with all that being said,
and some of that accountability is at the top, too, to LeBron James. Paul George with a 32-footer.
With a second left to fall.
Wow. How about this matchup right here?
This.
Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James.
Davis a screen. Into Davis from LeBron with another assist. Lakers have led by as many as 3. Clippers by 16.
Oh wow.
Walker Scotty.
Some athletic plays tonight.
James. Anthony Davis free.
But he can do that.
Good stroke.
But you know what makes your body feel better?
Yes.
And Coach Ham asked if AD needed a sub, and AD shook his head. Looks like he's good to go.
Jackson a floater on the fly. Reggie Jackson. Davis is laboring to get back. James against Morris. Meeting George with the whistle across the lane. Count it. Foul. Big time play, LeBron. Oh my gosh, he's just everywhere he turned, he saw a dark blue jersey. Here comes Jackson. Nice shove pass inside. Leonard off the baseline on the reverse. Westbrook and picked up by Leonard, and he got it up to Zubac, who was climbing the ladder. And Kawhi sets him up, and Zubac has got 12.
No, Coach Lou was mum on exactly how many minutes Kawhi is going to play.
Wall to Kawhi. Morris squeezes the trigger inside, picked up by Zubac. Wall's on the move. He'll push the pace. Good pass. Leonard 3. Book it. Kawhi Leonard a triple. In the command center, and always had a smile on his face. He was respected and he was loved by his fellow referees as Zubac gets it in.
And the Lakers got to be careful. The third quarter was trouble for them in Golden State.
Excellent
That's when
point.
the game got away from them right here. They were careless with the ball.
Third
PP finishes.
Clippers on a 17-0 run. Beverly outside. Toscano Anderson with a much-needed 3.
Finally stopped the bleeding.
Beverly against Morris. Great shot. Another falling down shot made by Morris. Davis the rebound. Grimaces as he came in after jumping up. LeBron is in and goes. Oh my! Drop that anvil! LeBron. What?
Hey, Reggie, LeBron said pick up surprise after boys. It's year 20, and
John
he can
Wall.
still get up like that.
18, 7, and 5 for LeBron. Carving his way into Batum.
Well, someone's going to come help. I mean,
And again, there's no defense to that. And depending on them on the bench to get warm.
What a pass by LeBron. Beverly rotating to Walker. By Kennard and over Zubac. Pretty play. Lonnie Walker. 3 minutes on the limit right now. Reeves. And this could tie it and does. Reeves knocks in a deuce.
They didn't put the Lakers away when they had the opportunity. Look at the clock.
Rejected by James. Here comes Reeves. 2-on-1. Walker. Skywalker. Jackson and James comes out. Shot clock at 6 for George over Walker. Got him in the air.
Nice.
Paul George, 15. Kawhi Leonard against Reeves. Kawhi digs it out. Jackson 3. Bullseye. They will not challenge. Toscano Anderson. Screen and Walker will take it and feed to Davis. Davis tried to tap it in. Zubats comes up with it. And now George the other way. 1 point lead. Kennard, 3. Good! Big time 3 Kennard. First game since June of 2021. Westbrook defending. Beverly's over there too, but he still got it to go. Shot clock at 5. Screen by Zubats and a 2 by Wall. Now we combine 7 points. Leonard, long shot, got it.
And there's no problem scoring. And what a plus if